On this episode, we talk to Khun Saba, a disabled rights activist from Accessibility is Freedom, about his quest to make Thailand accessible for all.
So if you're interested in seeing Bangkok from the perspective of someone who can't easily jump over potholes or climb stairs, you'll dig this episode of the Bangkok Podcast.
Well, hello there, and welcome to the Bangkok Podcast. My name is Greg Jorgensen, a Canadian who felt the sweet, sweet relief of a 24-degree Bangkok winter and never wanted to leave.
And I'm Ed Knuth, an American who came to Thailand on a one-year teaching contract 19 years ago, fell in love with the country even though Thai people like to keep the air conditioning around 24 degrees inside.
It's funny, 24 degrees inside would be like, oh, this is too cold. But outside, you're like, oh, I love it. I love it.
That's right. And I apologize to my American listeners that I can't speak in normal Fahrenheit terms.
24 degrees is what, 75?
Who knows, man? I still can't do the conversion. Anyway, we want to say a quick thank you to one of our patrons, Nico Marco, who supports us at the show shout-out level. Stick around after our interview with Khun Saba from Accessibility is Freedom to hear why Nico is going to help Greg learn about his neighborhood, despite Nico having moved to Greg's area just last week. And before we start, a huge thanks to all of our patrons who support the show. For more info on how you can become a patron, just head to the support page on BangkokPodcast.com. Of course, one of the cool things our patrons get is an unscripted, uncensored bonus episode every week where we talk about current events in Thailand and whatever else comes into our minds. We just finished recording this week's bonus show, and we chatted about the brutal and often deadly hazing traditions in Thailand, as well as something a bit lighter: problems, solutions, and gripes with air conditioning in homes and offices in Bangkok.
Yeah, it's a theme this week.
That's right.
Temperature, man. It's all about the temperature. All right, well, before we jump into it, this is the last time we'll have to mention our meetup, which will happen on Saturday, 27th of July at Smalls on Soi Suan Plu, which is just off Saton Road. We've created an event on our Facebook page, so if you're free, come on down to say hi, have a few drinks, meet some other listeners, chill out, sit back, relax. They've always been fun in the past, and I'm looking forward to this one too. So
yeah, please come if you're free. I like to meet people in person, so I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah, you're not the social one of us. I'm the social guy of us. So it's a rare night where Ed gets out and cuts loose.
That's right,
and becomes Mr. Social Butterfly. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, after a few drinks, maybe.
Oh, and also, real quick, if you're free this Friday, July 26th at Jam, next to Asoke BTS Station, both Ed and I will be talking at Bombix, each of us telling what will hopefully be a riveting, entertaining story. We both had fun doing it last time, and it's a really cool event and a great way to meet cool people. So check out details on Facebook. If you're free, just search for Bombix Stories. That's BOMBYX. And yeah, we hope to see you there. All right, well, on this episode, we are really happy to have as our guest Khun Saba, a disabled rights activist who leads a very important organization called Accessibility is Freedom, which fights to improve Thailand in terms of equality, opportunity, rights, and public consciousness. Now, you might remember Khun Saba from when he was in the news last year due to a very unfair incident with an elevator at a BTS station, but he and his organization have continued to work really hard every day to make sure that Thailand can be enjoyed by everyone, not only those with full mobility. So it was a real pleasure to sit down and talk to Khun Saba, and here is our conversation about Accessibility is Freedom. So we are here in a nice little meeting room at the back of a Starbucks.
Very good room.
At Central World with my new friend Khun Saba from Accessibility is Freedom, an organization that promotes equality, which is a great umbrella description of what it does. First of all, Khun Saba, thank you for coming on the Bangkok Podcast and welcome.
Sawadee krap, Khun Greg. Hi. Very good to come here.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So let's talk about Accessibility is Freedom for a little bit, because it's a very good name because it sort of promotes equality for everyone. Now,
yeah,
I think it's fair to say that you are the most visible face of the organization. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But you just recently said something to me that sort of made me think a bit, and it's you yourself are in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But it's not only about people who are in wheelchairs, it's for everyone. So can you describe a little bit about the organization and why it exists and what it does?
Yeah. Starting from myself, I got the polio since I was very young boy. And also I got an accident again when I was 24 years old.
Uh-huh.
So I have I be the people with disability twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
on top twice. And I learned by myself every trouble in the city in my life, learning, growing, everything. It becomes the question to me every time when I grow out, when I get out somewhere, when I go to the school, when I go to the office, when I try to travel, I got a lot of trouble.
Right. And you grew up in Bangkok?
No, I grew up actually in the northeast of Thailand.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And I came in Bangkok when I was 19. I start learning and getting trouble, as you can see in Bangkok. Yeah. Accessibility is a freedom. Actually, it is presenting myself as learning by myself. Learning by myself. I try to set up the accessibility is freedom is the NGO and non-profit organization. Try to fix problem. We try to fix the problem, and we aim to be the power to drive Thailand to be better in any situation. My job, as you can see, I try to fight for the accessibility to be better, and including also the responsibility of people in the social, in the city. We try to make the people better, because as you can see, if you are living in Bangkok, a lot of social problem around us. The motorcycle running on the footpath,
Right.
and many trouble, struggle, affecting to all people. It is not only me. It is affecting to everyone.
Sure. Yeah. That there's issues with poverty, with homelessness, with
Yeah.
mental illness,
Yeah.
with disabilities.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons where, I mean, I love Thailand, but it's one of the reasons where the country really doesn't do a very good job
Yeah.
at taking care of its vulnerable people.
To me, the accessible, it is not only the structure, it is not only the building, it is the mind also.
It's interesting you say that, because that sort of reminds me of something that I've said on the show a lot of times before, is that sort of everything is okay in Thailand
Yep.
until it becomes embarrassing for Thailand.
Yeah.
Whether it's prostitution, homelessness, scandal, corruption, slavery,
Yeah.
something like that. Like, it's easy for Thai culture to sort of sweep that under the rug, sort of forget about it, until it becomes an international story, until people start talking about
Yeah.
it, until Thailand looks bad.
Yeah.
So I think in a lot of ways, you need to shake people.
Yeah. Let me talk to my city, to talk to my country, talk about my country.
Right.
I love my country. Thailand is wonderful, as you can see, really good stuff. Really, there are a lot of funny, interesting story. The city, people is really good in the city. But, well, yes, there are many bad situations happening also. I do always call, this is the culture. Thailand culture is going down. Culture mean, as I say, very bad thing happening, like the motorcycle running on the footpath, while the sidewalk is really bad for the people with disability. While the train, there is no elevator on the train.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It is normal. I mean, on every country, we have a good thing and the bad thing. My job is to fix Thailand. And I do always say we are living in the global world. It is not actually Thailand anymore. Just you come to Thailand and you are living in Thailand.
Right.
Many people can come and go. You know what I mean, right? It is worldwide.
Especially now they're saying Thailand 4.0 and things like that. They want to push it forward.
Yeah.
But you can't just push some parts forward. You have to push the whole thing
The
forward.
whole thing, the global.
Right.
My eye, I look to the global work. We try to work. As you can see on my website, the accessibility is freedom.org. We do the 3 languages. That means that we try to speak to everyone as much as possible.
You mentioned the elevators, and I have to talk about this, and you're probably sick of talking about it.
Yeah.
But some people might remember you from a year ago.
A year ago.
You were at a BTS station, and you wanted to use the elevator, and you couldn't because it was locked or turned off, and you got really angry, and you hit the wall, and you smashed a piece of glass.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when I read that story in the newspaper, I understood you.
Yes.
Because I've talked about this on the podcast before, and I turn into like angry Farang man sometimes. When something is so easy and it doesn't work, and I get so angry. So I really understand why you got angry. So can you just talk a little bit about the challenges that disabled people and maybe people who have restricted access can face every day?
Okay. The smashing BTS glass, elevator glass, let me say first, I never support the violence. The violence is not good.
Right, I agree.
Okay. Yeah. The guard, they told me to sign on the books or on the BTS Asoke, right? When you come into the office, the ticket office, if you pass by, you touch the sensor, right?
Yeah.
You just walk up in a minute. You can be in the platform floor. But on the people with disability, I have to tell to the agent, to the people that they works there where I'm going, and only one station that I have to sign. Every station, every system, I don't have to sign on. Only Asoke station, I have to sign.
Oh, really?
I asked them why I have to sign. They told me that they have to keep up the log somehow to check up how many people with disability pass by their station.
Why? That makes no sense.
I don't know. That's why I try to talk to them very politely on that time. Do I have to sign? Why I have to sign? Something like that. He said, oh, this is the BTS policy. I have to sign. And then finally, I try to negotiate with them. Finally, I just asked to talk to the manager. When the manager come, we talk together. I know him. He knows me. I asked him, what will happen if I don't sign the book? He said, if you don't sign, you can't go.
Oh my God.
You can pass by.
It's just bureaucracy gone crazy.
This is funny. This was really funny. I told him, okay, I don't want to be disabled anymore. I want to go to the ticket machine. I want to buy the machine. You know that we can travel with free. We don't have to pay.
Oh, and disabled can travel.
The government support us.
Okay,
we don't
great.
have to pay. Yeah. On that day, I told them I don't want to use my right, the disabled right. I don't want to be free. So I went to the ticket machine and I buy the ticket by myself.
Yeah.
And I came in. And just like that. And I was on, actually I was having, we are going to have the meeting very soon. But I was like very urgent to travel to see my friends.
You were late.
Yeah. Within 30 minutes, I have to be there. It is longer than 30 minutes already. Talk to the agents over there, and I got the ticket. I went into the area of the passenger area, and I was waiting at the front of the door on the elevator, and the elevator was locked with the with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah.
On the some station, they lock the door.
Right.
There was no agent anymore because they were been talking with me very long already, and they have to jump to do something else. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
In a very peak time, maybe if I'm not wrong, it is around 7 p.m. something like that.
Busy time.
Yeah, busy time. I was waiting there more than 5 or 10 minutes. I can't remember. So I have to do something. That's it. So I just wake them up. They broke my right. I can't travel if I don't sign on the books. This is not good.
No,
this is not good.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's illogical. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And it's just adding an extra layer of friction.
Yeah. And another day, when I went back to my home and I post on my Facebook that I am going to talk to the media tomorrow on that night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also a lot of medias come and interview me on Asoke Station. Yeah.
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 And I talk everything that I going to prosecute them on everything that they don't fix. The BTS, they have problem, the elevator. They don't install the elevator. A lot of struggling in stations.
When my son was born and he was still in the stroller.
Yeah.
I remember I was at Sapan Taksin, and there's no elevator in Sapan Taksin, and I got really angry because I was carrying him. I was carrying his diaper bag.
That's it.
Full of milk and water and whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to carry his stroller, and I got mad. But that's nothing compared to what people in wheelchairs or other disabled people.
Same thing, actually. If you got an accident, what will happen? You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great what you said about your organization is also fighting for people in my situation.
Yeah.
People carrying children
Yeah.
and people who are pregnant
Yes.
or on crutches with a broken leg or something. It's not only wheelchairs, it's everyone.
And this is the future for the everybody.
Yeah.
As I said, tomorrow you don't know. Maybe you ride my motorcycle, you broke your leg, you have to use it also.
Or even just old people. Everyone gets old.
Yes.
Right?
Everyone gets old.
Yeah.
That's it. So this is the future of the city for everyone.
Yeah. And listeners, if you're out there right now, I mean, we always talk about how when you learn Thai, you can sort of appreciate Thailand and Bangkok in a whole other dimension. I urge you to, next time you're out walking around the city, try to see the city from a person in a wheelchair's perspective. Like, it sucks.
It sucks.
It's really awful.
It is really bad.
Yeah, and it's easy to overlook that.
Yeah.
So it's great that this organization is bringing awareness to it, and especially in a city like Bangkok that's so eager to be taken seriously as a first-class world city.
Yeah. If you go to my Facebook page, the accessibility is freedom.
Yeah.
You will see the banner. I put the picture on the banner. That is my dream city. I want the dream city. The city that everyone can be equal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Traveling, opportunity, and everything equally. Still now, today, I still cannot traveling.
Yeah.
Some station I cannot go. There is no elevator at all.
Imagine if you were on an average person. Imagine if you were on the BTS and there were just some stations that you just simply couldn't use. Like, that would be infuriating. And again, listeners, I urge you to go to Khun Saba's Facebook page and subscribe, follow it, because every once in a while you'll see pictures that he posts quite regularly, and it really opens your eyes as to how frustrating this must be.
Let me tell you the truth. This is my life. I start working in Bangkok first time as a programmer when I was 20, something like that, 21 years old, something like that. Do you think how much my salary on that time? 7,000, 8,000 per month.
8,000 for a computer programmer?
Yeah, on that time.
Wow.
No, I am 52 years old now. Let's jump back when I was 21.
Okay, so 30 years ago.
Yeah. there is no choice for me to go to the office. Only taxi.
Right.
I have to pay 300 baht per day to go to the office and go back. 300 baht.
Not to mention the extra time
Yes.
and the extra effort.
Yes.
Right.
So how much I pay for a month?
That's 6,000 baht a month.
Over,
taxis.
Yeah, over 6,000.
I'm not a math wizard,
Yeah.
so I think that's
Yeah.
right.
That's why I say this is accessibility. As you say, I feel like I am on a prison now.
Right.
I was locked down on a prison now. I can't go by myself. I can't be free. That's why I say accessibility is freedom. 30 years, well, things coming better. It is become better every day. But still, you know what I mean, right? I still cannot go out from my home by myself. How can I view on the road, on the side of the road? How can I jump into the bus? The bus stop still missing. A lot of trouble.
Yeah.
The train.
Even for our meeting tonight, we're at Starbucks on the 5th floor of Central
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
And when I set up the meeting, I asked you to meet me here. I was thinking, like, Jesus, can he get there? Like, is there an elevator there? Like, you don't think about these things. Or I don't think about these things. It presents a whole other layer of Bangkok.
Come to the middle of Bangkok. It is okay.
Yeah.
The department store, the world class department store, just like this, it is okay. I mean, the accessible facility is quite okay. Let's say quite okay, but they still have something to prove. Something like the restroom, they're still having very low standard.
And like you said, what happens if you live in Keha or Samut Songkram or somewhere?
Oh,
I mean,
don't mention about Samut Songkram, another province. Just say Bang Na.
Just start with Bangkok.
Yeah, you will actually every single place got a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you about the law. In Thailand, actually, we have really good defined law already.
For disabled?
The disabled, yes. The law. Actually, we copy from the ADA, from the UN. In UN, they have the law defined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we copy, and we also look at another country, just like Japan. They have done before us.
Okay.
And we fix it, modify to fit in Thailand.
Right.
In the main issue, it is almost the same thing. We have already defined everything. Let's say if you are making the big building, just like this, just like Central World, how many car parking you have, how many accessible parking you have to set up, something like that. We have already defined.
Okay.
But the people who control the law, they don't control.
That's interesting because that's another thing, another criticism that I have about Thailand is that there's more than enough laws and regulations here. The problem really lies in enforcement, right? And so you can put as many rules as you want in, but if no one makes sure that people follow the rules, then why even have rules? And like
no one follow.
Yeah, and like you post on your Facebook page a lot of times, people parking in handicap spots.
Yeah.
In Canada, thankfully, that like you get fined hundreds and hundreds of dollars and thrown in jail if you do that.
You will be in trouble.
Yeah,
in Thailand, nothing.
And also, there's social pressure too. Like to park in a handicap spot, like you've got to be a real asshole to do that.
Yeah.
But in Thailand, it's not really there.
Responsibility. Responsibility. I do call it. This is what do we call the culture? In the big picture, I call it culture. Culture means something that will help you to be better. I mean, every people in the social have to work together.
The English idiom is a rising tide lifts all boats. I mean, everyone benefits.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And in Thailand, this is a really big story. As you can see, I am doing a lot of responsible working very hard to wake people up.
Yeah.
The car parking problem, they're stealing people just park right on the parking.
Yeah.
Because it is very close to the door. It is very wide, very big, right? Something like that. ขี้เกียจ Yeah, I know. A lot of ขี้เกียจ people.
Yeah. I'm very lazy, but even I wouldn't do that. So what's been the response from then officials and government people? What do they say when you call meetings with them and when your organization has meetings?
All right. From the day that I smashed the elevator, after that 1 week, I have a chance to talk to the government, to the Bangkok government who are the owner of BTS, and we talk to the Ministry of Transportation also. We were been having a meeting together. They were agree to fix the problem that I report them. For example, the BTS, they have a lot of lack of installation. The elevator installation, they have to fix it. I told them you have to put it on, otherwise I will prospect to you very soon.
I will be back.
Yeah, I will be back. Yes, I told them just like that on the meeting. I will sue you very soon if you are not getting fixed. Let's say Bangkok government is very good. Also, they said they accept my call. They accept my what I said.
Good.
And finally, they prepare the budget very big, 320 ล้าน
$320 million.
Something like that to put on the more elevator.
Right.
And also the Ministry of Transportation, we were in the meeting and everyone accept what I'm saying, and we work together as the transportation for all, and then we go and talk to them, and then we give them the advice. What problem happening in Bangkok, and we try to push them up. I do believe we should have something better on every day.
It's so. Would you agree then that things are slowly getting better?
Very slow.
Yeah. Well, that's something.
That is why the reason that I smashed the elevator. It is too slow. I want to see in my lifetime. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It is too slow. 30 years already.
Wow.
30 years already. And actually, I always say if they build the very big department, they spend only 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
On the really big department store.
How long has the elevator BTS issue been going on now?
More than 20 years since BTS. The story of the accessible facility, we have been talking to BTS more than 20 years.
BTS opened in 1999. That's 20 years ago.
70 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. We have been talking a lot, and we sue them. We prospect with them, and we talk with them nicely. We give them everything. Every answer, every question they want, we advise them. We work together actually, but it is very slow.
So as we're wrapping up here, what can people do if they want to help the organization? Where can they go and learn more? How can they help?
As the accessibility is freedom, we are working as actually on my own. Work on my own money also. I got lack of my budget. I always say any movement costs money. When I go to meeting with the government, I use my own money.
Right.
If I get more money, that means the more move I can do. We are working on our own on the accessibility is freedom. There are some people support us by giving the money. I want to clarify first. I want to be Mr. Clean Hand. You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
When you give me 100 baht, so I have to put on the transaction. I open the transaction. You can see everything. The money come, money goes. How I spend the money. I think we are going to spend a lot of time to make the better city, to change the people's mind, to make more responsible. to fix up the accessible facility in Thailand. It is a big story, and I have spent already over 4 years. My job is to speak very loud as I can. Just like you, I come here. I really thank you that you advise us to come.
Oh, the pleasure is ours.
Yeah. So we try to make a friends. We try to speak very loud. I do use the YouTube and also Facebook Live to do a lot of activity.
Yeah, I saw. Before we even talked on email, I was watching one of your live streams on Facebook. Yeah. They're great.
The live is on Thai, but when the foreigner come, I can speak English, okay. No problem.
I can practice my Thai too.
You can listen to Thai also. Yeah. Most of things that we want is money. We want, yes, but the more important is we want people to join us. Mm-hmm. I want to grow good people in the society more and more every day. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. And I would say too that it's also the least people can do is follow your Facebook page.
Yeah.
I think just increasing visibility is a big thing. Like I said, in Thailand, that's what gets things done a lot of times is when something that's wrong becomes very visible, then it gets fixed.
Within 4 years of working, we fixed a lot of many things, as you can see.
Yeah.
Before, there is no parking lots, almost none of accessible facility.
Right.
I woke people up. And then today, we have a lot of accessible parking all around country, all around Thailand.
And sometimes you see a women-only parking lots or women-only buses. You know, it's all part of the same, making sure that everyone is treated equally and has the same access to safety and resources and transportation. So it's a great cause. So listeners, head over to the Facebook page, Accessibility is Freedom. Follow that page. It's entertaining, and it really opens your eyes to some of the difficulties that some people who live in Bangkok see that people who are fully able to get around don't really see. So, yeah. Khun Saba, thank you so much for coming on the show. We wish you the best of luck, and we'll have you back again to talk about this some more.
Thank you, Khun Greg. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
Wow, that was interesting. You know, I got to be honest, I really didn't know that much about this issue. I had seen some of those stories in the news about access on the BTS, but I had no idea there were people out there like him who were activists. I mean, usually when I think of activists, they're like democracy activists or gay rights activists. But so it's kind of cool that there's people out there like him.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was a real pleasure to sit down with him. He's a really, really nice, cool, funny guy. And we had a great conversation. And it struck me too, because he made me see the issue from two different perspectives that I'd never thought of it before. The first one was he's not just fighting to make Bangkok accessible or Thailand accessible to people in wheelchairs or people on crutches or whatever. It's for everyone, right? It's for pregnant women. It's for old people. It's for people, you know, just everyone. It's sort of like make it accessible for everyone who needs it, not just one particular class of person.
Well, that's the right attitude, because Bangkok is definitely not an easy city to get around, even if you're able-bodied.
Right, exactly. And that's the other thing that talking to him or someone in his position is that, you know, listening to their stories and seeing the photos, it really makes you see Bangkok from a totally different perspective. And next time you're walking down the street, you notice something and you're like, Jesus, that's horrible. Like, it's horrible for me. What if I was in a wheelchair?
I've always thought Bangkok is a bad walking city. I feel like it's like an ankle twisting city. I mean, there's so many like ruts and broken cement and like construction.
Yeah.
It's brutal even for the able-bodied.
Yeah. So many thanks to Khun Saba for sitting down with us. Like I said in the interview, check out his Facebook page, help his organization if you can. He works really, really hard to make a difference for everyone. So kudos to him and much continued success. We'll have him back on again, because it was really cool talking to him.
Excellent.
All right, let's get into some love, loathe, or live with, where one of us surprises the other one with a particular aspect of living in Bangkok, which we then discuss and decide if it's something we love about living here, loathe about living here, or have come to accept it as just a part of the crazy tapestry of Bangkok. And this week, man, it's up to you.
Okay. This is something I thought of last week when we did our show on dengue fever and mosquitoes.
All right.
So, Greg, what do you think about the ubiquitous Thai electronic fly swatter things?
Oh, those things.
Because I've got my own opinion. I've got a strong opinion about these, but I'm not going to say what it is until you give me your opinion on those things.
I love them, but I think they're overused. I mean, my mother-in-law walks around this thing like she's swatting at ghosts, just like randomly hoping to hit something. But when they're used properly and aimed properly, they're deadly, man. And there's some sadistic part of us, or maybe it's just me, but man, when you connect with a big fat fly that's been bothering you, and you hear it go, and like you just keep holding that button down so it's crackling and frying, like there's something sadistically pleasing about that. So I love them. I think it's a great, possibly a bit overkill, but it's a great solution to a problem that everyone has.
Well, I do understand that satisfaction, but I basically hate those things.
Really?
I really loathe those things for a couple of reasons. I have had success with them, but I feel like they're much less successful than they should be. I always feel like I'm swinging them around forever before I actually get the zap, you know? And I don't know if it's my technique or if I have like lower quality, but I've owned dozens of those things over the years, and they just seem to be cheap, crappy. Like, I feel like they're just like the lowest made in China kind of product. And I don't know, they never seem to work properly. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to zap myself. Like, those things actually scare me, you know, because they'll just be like randomly laying on the floor, and I'm afraid I'm going to step right on the, the electrical thing and like zap myself. Those things,
like American expat electrocuted by tennis racket or something.
I don't know, man. Those things, I remember when I first started using them, I thought they were the coolest thing ever, and I've just grown to hate them. I think they're not that effective. So you think they actually work?
Well, when they connect with something, yeah, man.
Well, true.
Like,
yeah, no doubt. Like when they connect, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's my technique, but I got a pretty bad hit rate with those things.
Have you ever played tennis?
I do play tennis. I do know how to swing a racket, but I think chasing mosquitoes is a little bit different.
Well, there's also something to be said about, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Like, a fly swatter has been working for thousands of years, and it works pretty good. It doesn't have any electronics, doesn't have any moving parts. They're cheap, so...
I don't know what the solution is for mosquitoes. I think you need something more sophisticated. Like, I don't know. I feel like fly swatters don't work that well. I don't think the electronic ones work. I think you need something more, like I don't know, maybe some other technology.
Like a beekeeper suit or something.
Right. So I guess we're just going to have to disagree on this one, because I just can't stand those things.
Yeah, right. Well, I know what to do if I ever need to scare you on Halloween or something. I'll dress up as a fly swatter and chase you.
Those things are scary, man. They're weird.
Running down the street going bzz, bzz, bzz.
Anyway, so as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we'd like to say thank you to Nico Marco for lending us his support at the t-shirt level. And Greg, what did you find out about Nico?
Well, as it turns out, I have known Nico for about 7 years now. And he's a great dude, and we've shared a ton of laughs and good times together. But one thing, let me tell you, one thing I've always admired about Nico is that he's totally current on all the Thai TV shows and movies and music and the singers and stars and stuff like that, which I am totally not. Like, if you put me in a room...
How does he do that? He speaks Thai well, or?
I mean, he speaks Thai. I think he speaks okay Thai, but not great. Maybe about the same as me. But I don't know. He just is something that he's drawn to, and he's something that he knows about. But like me, like if you put me in a room with 10 of Thailand's most famous people, I'd have no idea who any of them are.
I'm the same. Yeah, I would not know.
Yeah. So as it turns out, Nico has just joined our cool little club of people who live in the Thonburi side of the river. And in fact, he just moved into a building a few blocks away from me. So you know how restaurants, Ed, you know how like they like to have like pictures of famous people that have come to eat at the restaurant, and they're posing with like the owner or the chef or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, well, a lot of the restaurants in our area have that as too. So since Nico knows who all these famous people are, I think I'm going to demand that he take me out to all the neighborhood restaurants and educate me on who these people in the pictures are.
Ooh, I like it. That's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, it'll be like a crash course in Thai stardom. And I'm betting my cool rating will go up about 5 points just in terms of like understanding a bit more about
Well,
Thai culture.
you're going to have to invite me along because whenever my students mention some Thai pop star, I have no idea who they're talking about.
Exactly. And I will definitely need Nico's help as my kid gets older too, because I'll be damned if I'm going to be one of those lame parents who doesn't know who all the cool stars are when their kid gets older. You know, like
You already are that person.
Well, I'm that guy right now, but I need Nico's help to change me into like the cool parent. Like when I was a teenager and I would come up to someone and hear an old person say something like, "Yeah, I like Pearl Jam too." I'd be like, "Wow, that guy's cool. I want to be that cool guy." So Nico can help me.
All right, Nico. Nico, we're glad to have you on board, but you've got some work to do apparently.
Yeah, you've got to turn me into a lame parent, from a lame parent into a hip, cool parent. So it might be a long journey. But anyway, thanks, Nico. We really do appreciate your support, and you are going to look damn sexy in your Bangkok Podcast t-shirt. So yeah, thanks, man.
Okay, so a big thanks to Nico and all of our lovely patrons. As you know, we don't run ads or have sponsors, so we really, really do appreciate the support we get from our patrons. If you want to learn more, just head to bangkokpodcast.com/support. And if you want to get in touch with us, it's easy. Bangkok Podcast on social media, bangkokpodcast.com on the web, or simply bangkokpodcast@gmail.com. We are very polite, and if you write, we will answer.
True that. You can also find each episode on YouTube and follow us online where we post each episode and carry on conversations with our listeners. You can also reach out to me on Twitter where I am BKK Greg. So thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you back here next week.
Team America is pure genius.
You know, I've only ever seen I've seen most of it, but only in bits and pieces here and there. I've never sat down and watched the whole thing.
It's so ridiculous and over the top. You got to watch it, dude.
And
the Kim Jong-il.
I'm so Ronry.
It's so perfect. It's just great.
I sent that to a friend, a coworker the other day. I said, because he moved to a new seat, and I sent him a message and I said, "I'm so Ronry," and he's French and he didn't understand that, and he wondered if I was having a stroke or something. So what are you doing? Are you okay? What's going on?